can see Salesforce releases. Now, what are the Salesforce releases? Like other technologies, like a Java, SAP, like other technologies, we also have a releases in Salesforce. Like if it is a other technologies like a Java, then we have a version specific. In Java, we have a version specific, like a 15.1 version or a 15.2 version, right? Similarly, Python is also have a versions. SAP is also have a version based. But when it comes to the Salesforce, we maintain the releases. We don't maintain the versions, we maintain the releases. So Salesforce release is nothing but basically any feature, any new feature, or we are modifying the existing functionality, or we are enhancing it. Anything that we need to Salesforce want to update it, so they will release it in the Salesforce releases. Release is nothing but either we are getting a new feature or existing feature is modified, or there is some new concept which we are going to introduce in the latest release. Now, how many times does the Salesforce releases? Now, Salesforce has a seasonal based releases. There are 3 major Salesforce releases per year. The releases are winter release, spring, and summer. Winter, spring, summer. Winter release, spring release, summer release. It's a seasonal based. Now, how do I identify? Like every year we have a 3 releases, winter, spring, summer. Now last year, winter, spring, summer. This year also winter, spring, summer. I know this is the last year's release or this is the current year release. How do we know that? After the seasonal name, Salesforce is going to add a number here. If this is the year is a 23, then they will say that winter 23. If it is a spring, then this is releasing in this year, it will be spring 23. If it is a summer is released for this year, it will be a 23. For the previous one, we'll have a 22. After the winter, we have a 22, summer 22, spring 22. So these are the years will be added. There is a number gets added after the text. Now, every release has a certain images or there is a way of identifying it. Now, if you go to the current one, now if you want to know what is the release that we have right now, it is going to show here, right? It says 23 and there is an image is available. Right, if you click on the home button, you can able to see that this is a summer 23. Now, what is this image? This image is every release, there is a specific image will be there. So right now we are in summer 23. The next one is a winter 23. The next one is winter 24. Next one is winter 24. So if you look at here, summer 23 release. Now go to the images. Now this image is for especially for the summer 23. Now if you go to the summer 22 back, now you will have a different image. So this is summer 22, right? So in summer, if you want to identify based on the image, so in the image there will be a usually the one of the key to identify by looking at the image whether it is a summer 23 or winter 24 or a spring 24, which one it is if you want to identify it. So the simple scenario is by looking at the image. So if it is a summer, you will see some kind of a water hint you will see. So there will be a water hint, like this is spring 22. And if you go back to spring 21, so there is a something will be there. Now similarly like a winter. So next release is a winter 24. Next release is winter 24, which is going to happen in this month. So winter 24 also like a snow will be there. This is winter 24, snow is the symbol, and if you go back to winter 23, and this was the winter 23 symbol image, and winter 22 that has a different image. So after that, we have a next after winter, we'll have a spring. Spring 24. After winter 24 release, we have a spring 24 release. Spring 24 release is it's not yet released, so you will not be able to see any images. In spring, you will see all the birds or some kind of a flowers you will see. So if you go back to the spring 23, so this is the spring 23 logo, and spring 22, this is the spring 22 logo. So based on the image also, like every release, we have a some images will be released. There is a Salesforce is going to come up with some images for the every release. So the release cycle is winter, spring, summer. Once the summer is completed, then it will go back to the winter. From the winter, it will come to the spring and summer. So this is the cycle. So if it is already started with winter 23 and spring 23, we are already done. Right now, we are into the summer 23. Once the summer 23 is completed, it will go back and it will start the winter 24 and spring 24, summer 24. So once the summer 24 is completed, then it will go back to the winter 25. Right, so these are the different releases are there. Now, if you want to identify in every release, what is the latest features are released, what is the existing features are modified, what did Salesforce updated as part of this release. If you wanted to know, you can always search here in the Google Salesforce releases some documentation. Let's say I'm going to say here summer 23 release notes. Release notes in Salesforce. Summer 23 release notes in Salesforce. Now let's go here. This is a Salesforce documentation. Salesforce has provided this article. Now this is the summer 23 release. And what did the Salesforce has updated or modified? Everything is documented in the help.salesforce.com. And if you search directly in the Google also, you will find this documentation. Now, how to use the release notes, right? And what other things are changed in the browser level also, did they change anything? The browser level, any changes are happened. On the data cloud level, any changes are happened, right? So is there any changes on the marketing cloud, sales cloud, or a service cloud, right? So what are the changes they have done it? So they will going to explain everything. What was the change is done. Now let's say, for example, if I go to the marketing, they have not changed anything. Let's say mobile sales, mobile app, click on this. These are the key points which they are going to explain you. So what is the reason why we have updated? What is the reason why we have introduced? And where you can see it, and when can you use it, and from when. That means we are upgrading the summer winter 24 in the September, but when I can start using this functionality, and who can use it, and why Salesforce is introduced this, why Salesforce is introduced it, how it is going to useful for the customers or developers. So where, when, who, why, how. So these are the one key points which Salesforce is going to clearly explain in the releases, what is the purpose of it, and where can we see this functionality, and from when I can start using this functionality. Is it generally available or is it a beta version, and who all can use it, and why Salesforce has introduced this, what was the reason behind it, and how to set up or how to configure, how to use this. So these are the key points which Salesforce is going to give. So that's about the Salesforce releases.